Alright, back onto the test server. Now, at time of recording, the test server is still running. I don't know how much longer it's going to be available. There haven't been any updates for a while, and usually when that happens, they tend to close the server down. And then within a week or a couple of weeks, the last version from the test server goes live. But we're still available it's still available for us to test things out at the moment. I'm not sure if that's just because this is a very complicated update with big changes to custom packs, who knows. But either way, I thought I would take advantage of it and try and record something with one of the other new units that I have never purchased. There are so many new units in this update that there are quite a few that I've yet to do anything with. I do want to save some of them for when this goes live, but for now, we're going to take a look at the sarcastic fringehead, which definitely something I never thought I'd hear myself say. But apparently this is a real animal. I had never heard of it before, but if you look it up online, it definitely does look as bizarre as it does in-game, which I guess we'll see it fairly shortly. So there's another unit, Quetzalcoatlus, which has been created specifically to work with the fringehead, but my thought was immediately to try and look for other unusual combos, and the one I decided to go for was Mole. So if we play Mole at the back, it's gonna the fringehead will feint, summon a mole onto the opposing team, and then hopefully they will have a bunch of equipment to which the mole will remove when it feints. And if we just keep the fringehead at level 1, it will only summon a level 1 mole, and hopefully our units that benefit from summoning on the opposing team, like Iguana or Flycatcher. What else have we got? There's Aardvark. Hopefully the benefit that they gain will be good enough to offset the fact that we are summoning multiple units for the opponent. And hopefully the mole is going to remove some pretty tasty equipment from the opposing team, like mushroom or maybe a potato or melon or something at the back. So we do end up getting both Iguana and Flycatcher here, plus we get Aardvark from the Stoat, but I think having all three of them is probably a bit of overkill. Actually, Flycatcher is a little bit anti-synergistic with this because you can end up deleting units at the back which have perks, and therefore they block the mole from activating. So given that this combo is so awkward and unreliable, I decided to lower the bar quite a bit in terms of what I was willing to turn into a video. Really, all I wanted to see was one round where the mole gets summoned onto the opposing team and removes some perks to summon another mole. And you'd think that would be quite common, but strangely when I was trying to record this, there were so many teams that had either no perks at all, or sometimes they would just have one perk. And occasionally you do match with ghost teams on the test server, and those teams do not have any perks at all as far as I remember. So yeah, the odds are kind of stacked against this particular combo, although this team has multiple summons at start of battle, plus some perks. Unfortunately, they only had one perk, so even if we did have the fringehead there, it wouldn't have worked. I think they had a perk on a sneaky egg that fainted itself, so they ended up only having one. But we don't have the fringehead yet anyway, so that doesn't matter. We have to find it as soon as we can. And then probably we need some kind of protection on the mole, because it's just a base stats 2-3 at the back. It's just going to get instant sniped by all sorts of things at this stage of the game. But we do manage to find a level up on both the Flycatcher and the Iguana. Given that all the units in this combo are low tier, we're probably going to need to find some higher tier unit as well to carry us a little bit. We're going to lose here. I think that team had only one perk as well, did they? So we take the level up and we get Triceratops. We also get Polar Bear, so I think what I'm going to do here is take the Triceratops, spend the frozen lasagna that I've had saved up this whole time, and then next turn we'll probably take the Polar Bear in the hopes of finding the fringehead and then rapidly cooking it up to have a better stat line. Now the fringehead only needs to be level 1 because we don't want to summon a higher level mole for the opponent. We just want to be triggering the Iguana and the Flycatcher and With the mole at level 1, that means the opponent gets the bare minimum amount of free stats. Of course, you can end up summoning onto teams that have turkey. So although it is a 1-1 to start with, it can end up getting buffed up. So we find the fringehead finally, and as you can see, it is a very, very strange looking unit. This is a perfect opponent with multiple summons, so we're just going to instantly delete everything, and it's an easy win. But we also have very little in the way of protection here. I don't think I put many perks in the pack. Maybe just ambrosia. Probably would have made sense to have some better defensive equipment just to make sure that the combo doesn't just get disrupted at start of battle. Now I didn't bother getting another mole there because we don't really have a setup for summoning the mole ourselves. You could definitely play Beluga in the middle of the team, and then hopefully you'll get the mole value yourself while simultaneously messing up the opponent's team by removing their perks. So another satisfying chain reaction where we remove everything from the opponent here. But this is rapidly going to fall off, so we need to try and win as soon as we can. And to that end, we're just going to level 2 the Triceratops and bring in the fringehead as it is. It would have been nice to get Mongoose on level up there so we could bring in the Peanut to try and increase the chances of an instant knockout. In fact, maybe that's what I'm doing now. Okay, I think I gave it one roll there to see if I could find Mongoose, but yeah, we'll just go for it as is and hope that we face some more teams with low statted units at the front. So here is one, but unfortunately they have no perks at all. We do set off a bit of a chain reaction, although I think what's going to happen here is all the stats go to the Rhino, which is painful. I think if they went to the Catfish there, we would have won, but unfortunately it's a loss. We'll take the Ambrosia because it's the only thing available in terms of defensive equipment. And then we're set up to get the level 3 Iguana and Flycatcher as well. A team with lots of perks, and I think we are going to get to see the mole summon here. So yes, we do get the combo working. The Iguana instant kills the mole. Because it's not a level 3 Iguana, unfortunately we lost the pineapple because of the weakness. But we do win a round, so there we go. That locked in this as being the run that I was going to use in the video, regardless of what happened from here on out. We still only have a level 1 base stats mole at the back, so we just need to avoid dolphins and crocodiles. It's another summon team, which is perfect, but I think what's going to happen here is the Flycatcher is going to go ham and delete a bunch of units at the back, so they lose all the perks anyway. The Retriever's going to come in and knock out the Fringehead, but unfortunately there are no units left on the opposing team, never mind perks. Still, it was very fun to see Iguana and Flycatcher go off like that. It's such a weak and inconsistent build, but when it works, it's just so spectacular. Now, we do manage to find a celery, so we can give the mole a little bit of extra assistance there, hopefully keep it alive. Now, we do face a team with perks here, however they all get removed at start of battle. The Swordfish faints itself, and then the Pelican swallows the strawberry units. But when the salmons come out here, they're going to trigger both the Iguana and the Flycatcher, and we manage to scrape a tie. But the later we go with this team, the weaker it's going to be. I mean, the Fringehead is a 16-18, so we're incredibly reliant on facing low-statted teams for it to even get a KO and send the mole onto the other side. Now here the Ambrosia actually blocked the level 3 Mandrake, but the mole gets turned into a rock, so the combo is broken regardless. There's so many ways that this can get disrupted. It's a miracle really to be this far into the game. Yeah, turn 16 with this just doesn't seem right. So level 3 Flycatcher, again we don't need level 3 mole, and unfortunately the last two foods we're offered do us no good whatsoever. We'll just freeze all of the food that we can apply to the Fringehead in case we end up drawing. But it is another summon team. Actually, is it the same person? They do have perks, so if the mole summons... unfortunately the Flycatcher hits the melon at the back. Otherwise we would have removed the mushroom from this Nyala. That was so unfortunate. But the turkey and the crane get sniped here. The doggo comes in, the flycatcher and the iguana snipe it, and we actually win anyway, which seems completely bizarre for turn 16. But yeah, luck of the draw facing a summon opponent there. So here are some other random clips showing rounds where the setup actually worked. So here the strawberry and the mushroom get removed by the mole, and we deny the respawn there. But Flycatcher plus Aardvark just isn't going to be good enough against those late game units. Now, unsurprisingly, there are still people trying to get this tardigrade team going with the Frigate Bird plus Unicorn. It's such a weak build. You can see here it gets disrupted by the mole being summoned onto the opposing team. We do actually get to remove equipment, but unfortunately it was just gingerbread. However, the combo did go off, so I thought I would include that one. Now here, the Tar is going to pass Chili back to the Panther, but the mole is going to appear, be sniped by the iguana, and then they're going to lose the Chili and the egg that was on the ladybug. The mole summons on our side, and we actually win. So an incredibly awkward and inconsistent combo, but it's extremely satisfying when it actually works. Good luck to anyone who tries this when it comes out on the live server.